everyone, Rick Sassman here with Century 21 Affiliated. Scott Swinford over there with Hancock Mortgage.
Yeah,
Scott, it's been a while.
it has been a little while. That's true. But I think being sequestered in the office and just a lot of things going on, it's been a while, but we're back. That's the important thing, right?
It feels good to be back too. So, most important thing is the mortgage industry and the housing industry are coming back. Showings are now being allowed in Lake County. It's a whole lot easier to show houses, and yeah, mortgage. The mortgage industry has changed just a little bit, and
That would be an understatement, I think. Yeah.
so Scott, you want to talk about some of the changes?
Well, the mortgage industry has changed quite a bit, Rich, and over the last probably 6 to 8 weeks. The whole concept is with the COVID, and obviously we know all the effects that have had with people losing their jobs, the whole concept of forbearance or not being able to make the payments and things. The lenders and the servicers have well, essentially they've got their tails tucked between their legs. They're
Mm-hmm.
scared. They're really scared, and they're worried about what's going to happen as far as income wise, and how they're going to make the payments, how the servicers are going to make the payments to the lenders. So I think we talked about this a little bit. Essentially, what has gone on is the government stepped in and said, hey, if you can't make your mortgage payment, that's fine. We'll give you a forbearance agreement. You can go up to 6 months. At 6 months, we'll look at it. And if you need more, we can go up to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to make your payments. And the same has gone with renters, too. The government stepped in and said, hey, you can't make your payment. That's okay. Put food on the table. But what happens is then the servicers, the ones who you make your check out to every month, you send them money. They send money to the people who hold the mortgage-backed securities, which is what your home loan is based upon. And they send it out twice a year to the county to make the payments, and once a year to your homeowner's insurance company to make the homeowner's insurance. And if there's mortgage insurance, they send those out too. Well, they still have to make the payments, even if they aren't receiving your money. So they're worried about what's going to happen. They're worried about people who are going to go into forbearance and not make the payments. They're also worried about people who are having what they call first payment defaults, which is where, and I've not had it happen to me, but a couple of lenders I know have said, yeah, they'll get to the closing table and the new customers are happy. They sign on the dotted line like, all right, we're homeowners. Now, how do we qualify for forbearance? Which means that the lender's not even going to get the first payment.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. So they got really tight. One of the bigger local banks that's national now has they've gone to, yeah, thank you, Google phone. They have gone to a minimum of a 700 credit score, and then, sorry, try to turn it off, and then they a 20% minimum down payment. So you can tell that they're a little bit concerned about that.
Yeah.
A couple of the other ones have gone to not doing home equity loans. I talked to a buddy of mine this morning out near California. He said he does construction loans and rehab loans, and he's pretty much shut down because nobody's doing those. So some of the loan programs we had are gone. The ones that we have now, they've tightened the guidelines on, so it's a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and just because they're tightening guidelines doesn't mean that it's impossible to get a mortgage. They just want a little bit better qualifications across the board, which is understandable. I mean, if somebody comes up to you wanting you to loan them money and they seem a little not to your level, are you going to lend them the money? No.
Yeah.
So
right, and that's really what they're looking at. It's, what I'm telling my clients right now is we would still like to see 660 plus scores, because that would help, and that's going to get them some better pricing. Pricing below that is not real good, again, because risk equals rate. Yes. So the higher the risk, meaning the lower the credit score, the higher the rate they're going to be. So 660 credit scores, we're still doing the VA at 0% down, FHA at 3.5%. conventional at 3%. But they just want to know that it's a quality borrower. That's all we're asking. You don't have to have great credit,
Yep.
just decent credit.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Tim Pelton just commented. Is that the clean haircut guy? Yeah, I just got a haircut less than a half hour ago. Man Cave Barbers in Crown Point. Shout out to them. They do awesome haircuts by appointment only. Give them a call. Look them up on Facebook. Just love to support local businesses. So that just reminded me to make sure to give a shout out to our local businesses. So, Scott, are there any local businesses that have impressed you a lot?
There's a lot of local businesses that have impressed me. Um, from watching my Red Friday videos, I'm really, really big on the businesses that give back to our community.
Exactly.
So Mission Barbecue in Maryville is now open for business, slightly lower, um, slightly decreased seating ability because they can't have as many people in there. It's Lake County again. But they are back open. And of course, my buddies over at Chesterton Brewery out in Chesterton. But there are a lot of local businesses too that have been doing a really good job.
Yeah.
And donating to our first responders, the hospitals, things like that. And, that's very appreciative. I think that's a great thing they're doing, and we definitely want to support them.
Yeah. And I mean, I just want to give a shout out to all these local restaurants that have morphed the business model to adjust to carry outs and deliveries and whatnot, while still keeping their employees employed. That to me, that is huge. It's way too tempting just to pack up shop and not to try to provide for your workers and try to go with more of a skeleton crew than what they are. And just a shout out to all the business owners making the tough but right decision and trying to make it right for their employees. Uh, and that helps the employees stay qualified for pre-approvals and mortgages. And so that's huge. And
Absolutely.
I would like to buy a beer to to a business owner that keeps their employees employed. That helps them get a house. That helps their employees get a house. That to me, that just is amazing. And yes, I mean, for when money goes down, like the smart thing to do, according to every business plan, is to cut costs. And one of the biggest costs is employees. But uh, this epidemic has brought out such a great side to humanity uh, in the U.S. and I applaud everybody that's done the right thing.
I think we're seeing a lot of good people out there now, and especially, we talked about this at the beginning too, Rich, about how folks were posting on Facebook. They said, "Hey, if you're in a house, you can't go out, you're high risk. Let us know. We'll go to the grocery store for you. We'll pick things up for you, whatever it happens to be." So I think we're seeing some real positive things. I got to ask you about something. You were talking about some of the local businesses. There's one of the larger pizza chains now that are saying that we don't touch your food. Once it comes out of the oven, we don't touch your food until we deliver it to you. What were they doing before?
Yeah, I understand, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've dealt with food and beverage service before in previous lives, and it's just like I don't understand that statement because I mean, I as soon as stuff comes out of the fryer, you don't grab it with your hand.
I
Well,
know, and I
as
think
soon
they're
as it
doing a
comes out
great
of a
job.
500-degree oven, you don't grab it with your hand.
Right, and I say that kind of jokingly, but for those of us that are kind of sarcastic a little bit once in a while, you do. I mean, you sort of wonder. You're like, well, okay, if you're not touching it now, what the heck were you doing before? But again, I appreciate what they're taking some extra precautions to make sure that we're staying safe.
Definitely. Uh,
So,
yeah,
but how
yeah,
about you? How's things going? Are you seeing a little bit of an uptick in requests for showings?
I am.
I can see it looks like we're getting more listings coming out too.
I think it has to do with people are being optimistic. People are feeling good about the future right now, and I I have not seen any downslide in home values during this, which back in 2008 and everything when there's the last housing crisis. Like, I don't even consider this a housing crisis. It's just a slowdown on sales right now. To me, it's two big difference. One is created by a virus. The one that caused all the panic in '08 and whatnot was banks and financial. So two different things. The good is coming out of here. People are getting excited to sell homes. I know the house behind me went under contract in a couple days, uh, and that's the common theme right now. As soon as you get a listing that's priced appropriately, they're selling in hours, not days, now. And the best thing about all this is you don't have just anybody coming through your house because right now for someone to go through one of my listings, I'm asking for a pre-approval letter for every house to limit exposure to everyone involved. So we know you're a serious buyer. You've gone through the virtual tours that I do for all my listings. You've seen everything, so you're basically just confirming the facts on that you really love the house when you're going in. So you're not wasting your time, and you're not putting my clients or yourselves in danger in case the virus is active around the house and whatnot. So, but yeah, we're doing all the precautions necessary. But people are, I'm getting a lot of requests for people looking for lake homes right now. Believe it or not, I've had 3 or 4 people asking me for lists of lake homes for sale in there. And if you want a list of any homes for sale, all you gotta do is message me where you want them, and I'll email you that list same day, if not within the hour, because that's the fun part is looking at homes. Even if you're not looking to uh, move right away, it's fun just to look at homes online. If you're stuck at home, you might as well do something fun. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing with these lake homes. They just want to dream right now.
And dreaming is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I will say up here though is, you know, I've talked to agents in different parts of the country, and they said, yeah, there was a slowdown. Of course, you know what? Each state is taking things differently.
Yep.
If you look at like what New York is doing, or Washington State, or a few of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've still got everybody locked up. I think they said what Los Angeles County is not opening the beaches and other things. So, you know, but I think Indiana, I think the governor is doing a pretty good job. He wants to reopen things in phases, but I think we're still seeing a lot of people um, who still believe that they're going to buy a home this year. They're still employed. They have been essential employees. So they're still working. They're still doing okay. And which, you know, a lot of people with the events that are going on in Illinois with the governor there that are really thinking about getting the heck out of Dodge and moving out of Illinois. And you know, some of them are going to be going to Indiana, maybe some to Wisconsin, wherever. But I think we're going to start to see a little bit more of an influx just because we're in the Chicagoland area.
Yep.
And property taxes are lower. There's a lot of other benefits to living here in Indiana. But so I think we still have it a little bit better than maybe some other parts of the state and even the country.
Oh, we definitely do.
And we're seeing those, you know, like you said, the prices of the homes or values of homes are not dropping like they might be in some other parts of the country. Mm-hmm. And I agree. Talking with some other agents, they have said that, you know, when the house goes on sale, if it's not necessarily just on the market, but in the market, if it's priced appropriately, we're getting a lot of showings and numerous offers on it. So, you know, my suggestion, and back me up if I'm wrong here, but, you know, if you're thinking about selling, now is still a good time to sell.
Exactly.
And if you're thinking about buying, make sure that you've got your pre-approval. You're
a solid pre-approval,
go.
Not just a pre-approval.
A quality pre-approval.
Yeah.
Call me. But a quality pre-approval, so that when you are ready to, when you're out looking at houses, if you see something you really like, you're going to want to act quick and make an offer on it. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, 100%. Because I mean, I've there was a listing in my office that just it was on the market for 1 day, 8 showings, and above asking offer. What does that tell you about the market?
Smoking hot.
So, and once again, all 8 people were pre-approved, ready to pull the trigger, and it's just a matter of, okay, how many are you willing to pull the trigger? And that's something I'm a huge fan of doing these 3D tours and whatnot of homes. If you'll see them posted all over my Facebook in the past couple weeks, and I it gives you a true sense of the home with a whole lot better than just pictures and whatnot. Like having a 3D tour where you can spin around in a room, you can truly feel what the house is going to be like.
Absolutely, and it's safer that way too. I think.
Yeah.
If you can show somebody a house before you have to take them out there, at least they can get a pretty good idea of, are they serious about this one, or is it not what they want? And then, if it is, then you can, if it's appropriate, show it to them, take the precautions and things. But
definitely,
yeah, I think we're in a good position. I really do. I'm very encouraged by seeing what's going on lately.
Yeah, my prediction is as long as nothing crazy happens. I mean, nobody knows what exactly is gonna go on once everything opens up. If we're gonna have a complete, if this virus goes crazy again, or if it goes uh, away, nobody knows. And hopefully, everybody just has learned. Hey, we need to take our precautions more seriously, and just keep washing our hands, keep sanitizing, and keep being smart about things. And if we're able to do that, and everything goes away, I'm predicting the housing market is going to have a very condensed spring-like market where it's going to be a very hyper market in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I think there's still a chance. I don't know that we're going to necessarily see the total volume that we would have had this not happened.
No,
but I think if we remove these last 8 weeks, and let's even fast forward maybe the end of this month. So if we remove all of April and May, I think we're going to see this nearly the same amount of volume in 10 months that we would have in 12 months, which means that things are really going to be heating up. And what I've heard from some of the economists is they are extremely bullish on um, 3Q on the third quarter. So
yeah. I hope so. I not just for my sake, but I for all my clients that have been punched out by this coronavirus and things are, and they're just waiting to get the approvals back and everything like that. I look forward to that day for them because they deserve it because they did everything right, and it just so happened the the rules of the game changed without notifying people.
right.
So
Very true. And there's going to be a little bit of a new norm. We're not going to ever get back, I think, to where we were before. But again, there are some positive things that come out of it too. You know, I would say moving forward, at least from my point of view, what we need to do is we need to know that, and I won't say they're relaxing the guidelines on the mortgages, but we haven't seen them getting any stricter in the last couple of weeks.
so that, which
So
is good
what we
news.
want to do is be able to work with those clients who may not have 660 credit scores. If you're 620, 630, there may be some things we can do to get you up there. But look at those things ahead of time. Make sure that you are absolutely pre-approved. If you've had a pre-approval for a while, and even if you're not working with me, you're certainly more than welcome to call me. But if you're working with another lender, make sure that your pre-approval is still valid because things have changed. I know I've got a couple clients that were ready to go out looking, and now they're just not going to be able to do it for a little while. We're working with them. We're trying to get their scores up and put them in a little better position. But because of what's happened, it's going to be a little bit tougher. But there's always going to be opportunities when anything like this happens.
Yes.
So I say we need to look at that, guide our clients appropriately, and help them take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah. And yeah, I've been in contacts with my active clients right now, and just trying to um, get their confidence. I'm not one to push anyone into anything. That's not what I'm doing. But at the same time, I'm trying to give confidence in the market, saying, yeah, just you're gonna purchase the house today for 200,000. It's not gonna go down in value right after you purchase it. Right? And I've heard that as a lot of scared because they think it's going to be a recession attached to this, and even if there is a recession, the fact is that there's more demand for housing than there is supply right now in Northwest Indiana. So that's going to keep the prices afloat, even worst case scenario.
Right. Well, Rich, you know what the definition of a depression or of a recession is, right?
Yep.
It's when there's a declining GDP over 2 quarters in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So could we see a recession? I think there's a very good chance we're going to. But folks always use that. It's kind of a bad word.
Yeah.
And the other part of a recession, though, is that interest rates tend to go down during a recession.
Even lower than they are now?
There's folks out there that are saying that we're going to see probably within the next couple of months some of the lowest rates we've ever seen historically.
So in other words, if you're interested in buying a new home or refinancing, getting in line now with Scott is probably a great idea.
I have a board here. I've got two.
All right, we got the point.
About 26 clients, and I think about 17 or 18 of those are potential refis here that will probably happen within the next month or so. I've got one I was working on today. Let's at she was at 5 1/4, and we're probably going to lock her in somewhere low to mid 3s. So we're going to save her a whole bunch of money every month on her payment.
Well, this is extraordinary times yield extraordinary results. I mean, the fact that everybody's like getting out of the mortgage and the home side of things, but people are reprioritizing a lot of things at this point in their lives and in business, and is what is necessary. Some people are learning, well, if this ever happens again, I definitely want to be in a more spacious home so I can get away from my kids or something and whatnot. So I'm sure parents with great kids like yourself have never thought that.
What are you kidding? One of them already got suspended. And
I'm wondering at what
point I reach out to the school and start asking them for donations and to send in a couple boxes of Kleenexes.
Yeah, so and shout out to all the teachers that have to change everything on the fly, and
shout out to all the teachers in general for putting up with those kids. Let me tell you, I appreciate that.
One of my favorite memes on online right now is it's somebody wrote on a car window saying, "Hey teachers, you said my kid was a joy in class. I found out that's a lie."
That's absolutely untrue. Yes.
So.
Yeah, and I got news for you. A lot of these kids, they go back to school this fall. I don't know about this new math they're teaching, but they're going to learn some newer math. I mean, kind of retro. But Rich, I think that for the most part, sometimes it's tough, and I do feel bad for some of the kids who are home, because it may not be the most ideal situation. But
yeah,
I can tell you, I've spent more time with my wife and my kids over the last 2 months together in the same spot than I have in a long, long time. Usually when my wife is on vacation, they take off somewhere. I send them. They've gone to Hawaii. They were in North Carolina last year, things like that. And now it's family time. My oldest came down to the office this morning and said, "Hey, what do you want me to cook for dinner?" So now he's like making, I think, crusted chicken in his. He somehow got his hands on a cast iron skillet.
Good for him.
He's doing
good for you
all
too.
Kinds of things. We're getting together. Yeah. We're spending a lot more family time, but I guess it's all your perception. You can look at it and say, man, I've been stuck in the house for the last 8 weeks and haven't really gone anywhere. Or you can say, you know what, I've really kind of reacquainted myself with my family that we really didn't see a lot of. You can say, hey, things are horrible and I have to stay in the house. Or you can say, you know what, this gave me an opportunity to get some things done that I hadn't had a chance to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to read a couple books that I've been really wanting to read. So it's all about the perspective. And I think from the real estate and mortgage perspective coming up, I think things are going to be really positive. I think we've gone through the worst. I'm hoping we've gone through the worst. Cross my fingers, knock on wood.
Cross eyes, nose, everything. Yep.
Yeah, cross your eyes, dot your toes. Yeah, but I really do think that things are gonna get better, and we're gonna have, again, getting back to that whatever our new normal is. But I think it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, and I look forward to a point this summer where all the restrictions are lifted and we could have a little Mortgage Tip Monday get together, possibly at Chesterton Brewery or something, somewhere with one of the great local businesses that have done the right things over this pandemic. So,
Yeah.
other than that, we're going to be back going weekly live with Mortgage Tip Monday. So if you have any questions, feel free to send them in, and we will do our best to answer them live on air here. And hopefully sooner than later, we'll be doing this again, shoulder to shoulder, Scott, instead of through Zoom.
But, you're gonna have to come up to my my 28th floor office, though.
That looks a little bit higher than 28 floors.
Again, it's just your perspective.
So, but anyways, everybody be safe, be smart, and we'll be hopefully as close to normal as possible as sooner than later.
Yep.
So,
and most importantly, we're here to help you. Maybe you haven't seen as much of us lately as you did before, but we haven't gone anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're still here for you.
Exactly. So for Mortgage Tip Monday, that's Scott Swinford with Hancock Mortgage. I'm Rich Sassman with Century 21. I hope everybody has a great day, and we will see you next Monday.
Take care.
Take care. All right, Scott. I think I ended Facebook Live. I may just say broadcast interrupted. I just closed out of it, so hopefully that worked. Nope, it's still showing me. All right, that's awkward. Yep, Scott, we're still live somehow.
All right.
Yeah, don't. Technology, gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
So,
all right, it's all good.
I'm gonna end this meeting. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, have fun with your dog.